WirePA WirePA images. The Democratic Party has scored significant wins over Donald Trump in statewide elections. Democrats in the U.S. are celebrating huge successes over Donald Trump after Americans headed to the polls for the first statewide elections since the president came to power in January. Not only did the party gain key legislative seats, the two governorships, and full control of the state governments in New Jersey and Washington, but there was a historic surge for LGBT and BAME candidates. The night was validation for the many activists around the country who joined the resistance after Trump's win and have been feverishly working at the grassroots to mobilize the party's base. Maria Urbina, director of the Progressive Indivisible movement, said the victories make it clear that a newly awakened grassroots movement is rising up to reject Trump's politics of hate and reclaim political power. Since Trump was inaugurated, he has made significant attempts to ban transgender service personnel from the military and to limit the number of immigrants allowed into the U.S. with his so-called Muslim ban. Here, HuffPost lists the most momentous wins from Tuesday's elections. Danica Roem. Paul J. Richards via Getty Images. Danica Roem became Virginia's first openly transgender state lawmaker. Virginia elected its first openly transgender state lawmaker on Tuesday, voting Democrat Danica Roem into the state's House of Delegates. She unseated Virginia Delegate Bob Marshall, the Republican who introduced the bathroom bill that would have prohibited transgender students from using the bathroom of their choice. No matter what you look like, where you come from, how you worship, who you love, how you identify, or any other inherent identifier that you have, you should be celebrated because of who you are, not despite it, Roem said on MSNBC's The Last Word. Andrea Jenkins is now the first openly trans woman of color elected to the city council of a major U.S. city. Congratulations at Anna Poetic. Congratulations. Minneapolis Election Day. Pic.twitter.com 8ccm CGZBLR. Women's March. At Women's March November 8, 2017, transgender activist Andrea Jenkins was elected to the Minneapolis City Council, becoming the first openly transgender African-American woman elected to the city council of a major U.S. city. According to The Advocate, Jenkins will be the first openly transgender person of color elected to office in the United States. Jenkins was endorsed by the Star Tribune, citing her years of experience working as a policy aide alongside city council members and her commitment to helping underrepresented communities. Justin Fairfax. The Washington Post via Getty Images. Democrat Justin Fairfax was elected to become Virginia's next lieutenant governor. Democrat Justin Fairfax was elected to become Virginia's next lieutenant governor. With his victory, the former federal prosecutor will be the second African-American to win statewide in Virginia. I am so grateful for this opportunity, Fairfax said during a statewide victory party, according to WJLA-TV. We are changing the course of history in this Commonwealth. Sheila Oliver. Eduardo Munoz Alvarez via Getty Images. Sheila Oliver became New Jersey's first female African-American lieutenant governor. New Jersey elected Sheila Oliver as its first female African-American lieutenant governor. Oliver is no stranger to breaking records. She became the first African-American woman to be elected as Assembly Speaker in New Jersey and only the second black female speaker in U.S. history. This may not be the first glass ceiling I have broken, but it is certainly the highest, Oliver said during Democrat Phil Murphy's victory party. And I hope somewhere in this great state of New Jersey, a young girl of color is watching tonight and realizing that she does not have a limit to how high she can go. V. Lyles will be the first African-American female Charlotte Mayor. Kai Mayor at WSOC-TV. Pic.twitter.com Ubumphasm. Joe Bruno. At Joe Brunowsic. 9 November 8, 2017. V. Lyles was elected as Charlotte, North Carolina's first female African-American mayor, defeating Republican candidate Kenny Smith. With this opportunity you've given me, you've proven that we are a city of opportunity and inclusiveness, Lyles told a crowd of supporters, according to the Charlotte Observer. You've proven that a woman whose father didn't graduate from high school can become this city's first female African-American mayor. Yvonne Spicer. Congrats to Yvonne Spicer, first mayor of the new city of Framingham. At Spicer for Mayor. Pic.twitter.com 6S7W1Eva7F, and Senecal. At ComEdProf. November 8, 2017. Yvonne Spicer was elected the first mayor of the city of Framingham, Massachusetts. Framingham residents recently voted to become a city, relinquishing its status as the largest town in America. This vote altered the way the government will be run with a mayor and the city council. This is a new beginning for Framingham. I promise you, as your mayor, I will make sure that everyone at Framingham has a seat at the table, Spicer told a group of supporters Tuesday night. Joyce Craig. Ted Gatsas concedes in Manchester, New Hampshire mayoral race, meaning Joyce Craig will be the city's first ever women mayor. https://convergub5n2pic.twitter.com's area 3b, NBC Boston. At NBC Boston, November 8, 2017, the largest city in New Hampshire just elected its first woman as mayor. Joyce Craig will be the first woman in the Manchester's 266-year history to serve as mayor, unseating the Republican incumbent Ted Gatz's. As the first woman to ever serve as mayor of Manchester, Joyce will lead the city she loves with the same vision and energy that she's brought to her previous decade of public service, Democratic National Committee Chair Tom Perez told the New Hampshire Union leader in a statement. Tyler Titus. Another historic win. Tyler Titus won his Erie School Board seat to become first openly trans person ever elected in PA. Elect LGBTQ pic.twitter.com Kilst 69RR6 Victory Fund. At Victory Fund, November 8, 2017, Tyler Titus won a seat on the Erie School Board, becoming the first openly transgender person to ever be elected in the state of Pennsylvania. Tyler Titus shattered a lavender ceiling in Pennsylvania today, and his victory will resonate well beyond state boundaries. Victory Fund President CEO Aisha C. Moody Mills told HuffPost in a statement. Trans people remain severely underrepresented in our politics and government, and now more than ever we need trans voices like Tyler's in the halls of power. Ravinder Ballas. Thank you, Hoboken. I look forward to being your mayor. Team Balla finish at strongpic.twitter.com Ukpexgex. Ravinder S. Ballas at Ravaballa. November 8, 2017, Hoboken, New Jersey, elected Ravinder Ballas as its mayor Tuesday night, which will make Ballas the first Sikh American to be elected mayor of the city. Last week, Ballas was the target of racist flyers that showed a picture of him along with the words "Don't let terrorism take over our town" plastered above him. Thank you, Hoboken. Ballas, who served as a city councilman for 8 years, posted on Twitter. I look forward to being your mayor. Elizabeth Guzman and Hala Ayala. Elizabeth Guzman and Hala Ayala both defeated Republican incumbents tonight to become the first ever Latinas elected to the Virginia House of Delegates. Election Day Virginia Election pic.twitter.com 6 Zap 5 Wheatrow Women's March. At Women's March, November 8, 2017, Elizabeth Guzman and Hala Ayala defeated Republican incumbents to become the first two Latinas elected to the Virginia House of Delegates. I am so honored for the privilege to represent House District 51, Ayala wrote in a statement. I am humbled by the faith that my future constituents have placed in my candidacy and our message. Wilmot Collins. Wilmot Collins for mayor. Wilmot Collins will become the first black mayor in Montana's history. Wilmot Collins arrived in Helena, Montana, 23 years ago as a refugee from Liberia. All available information shows that Collins, a 54-year-old naval reservist and child protection specialist with the Montana Department of Health and Human Services, will become the first black mayor in Montana's history. Although Helena's elections are nonpartisan, Collins leans Democratic and is pleased to have sent a message of defiance to Trump. The country is still not what Mr. Trump wants it to be, Collins told HuffPost. The citizens of this state and the city where I have lived for the past 23 years have spoken, and they are saying, we want the best candidate. They're not looking at color, at background and creed. Jenny Durkan. Despite knocking on doors in the rain, I love Seattle, Jenny Durkan said in Tuesday night's speech. Can I just say to Donald Trump, keep your hands off Seattle? Wellexpic.twitter.com Ajajik, mynorthwest.com Evergreen Tree. At My Northwest. November 8, 2017, Jenny Durkan will become Seattle's first lesbian mayor. She will also be the Emerald City's first woman mayor since 1928. Bertha Knight Lands was the first female mayor of Seattle, and of a major U.S. city, in 1926. 92 years later, Seattle's about to have another woman mayor. How about that? Durkan told supporters during her victory speech. Melvin Carter to be next St. Paul mayor. St. Paul mayor W96 of 96 precincts in. He has 50.89% of first-choice votes. Pic.twitter.com 71 SKWJDSK. Claude Peck. At Claude Peck. November 8, 2017, voters in St. Paul, Minnesota made history by electing Melvin Carter as the city's first African-American mayor. I'm thrilled. I'm elated. I'm humbled. Carter, a former St. Paul City Council member, told a group of supporters at a victory party, we've built what I'm excited to say is a big, bold, bad vision for the future of St. Paul. Kathy Tran. Kathy Tran came to the U.S. as a refugee from Vietnam when she was an infant. Tonight, she became the first Asian American woman elected to the Virginia House of Delegates. Congrats at Kathy Tran. Pic.twitter.com and Sinnerf7D. Women's March. At Women's March, November 8, 2017, Kathy Tran, a former Vietnamese refugee, became the first Asian American woman to join Virginia's House of Delegates, representing the state's 42nd district. She will replace David Albo, a Republican who served for 24 years but didn't run for re-election. Janet Diaz Facebook. Janet Diaz will become the first Latina member of Lancaster. Janet Diaz will become the first Latina member of Lancaster, Pennsylvania's City Council. "We need a government that looks like the people it serves, that looks like its constituents," she said when she announced her candidacy in January. Jonathan McCollar Facebook. Jonathan McCollar will become the first African-American mayor of Statesboro. Jonathan McCollar will become the first African-American mayor of Statesboro, Georgia, defeating incumbent Jan Moore. "It's that the city was ready for change," he said Tuesday. "This is just evidence of the work from the people that were part of this movement." Brendan Barber will become Georgetown's first African-American mayor. Brendan Barber, a Georgetown, SC city councilman since 1998, will become the city's first ever African-American mayor. The Georgetown native said his knowledge of the city and its municipal employees makes him well-positioned for the job. Mary Parham Copeland Facebook. Mary Parham Copeland will become Midgeville, GA's first female African-American mayor. Mary Parham Copeland will become Midgeville, GA's first female African-American mayor, beating incumbent Gary Thrower by just 6 votes. "I, along with each one of you, know that we needed real change and real progress for our city," she wrote on Facebook following her victory. Medicaid expansion in Maine. Maine residents approved a ballot initiative Tuesday to expand Medicaid coverage under Obamacare to about 70,000 more people across the state. It's the first time Americans voted on the issue through a referendum. It also represents a setback to Republican Governor Paul LePage, who vetoed several previous legislative attempts at an expansion. The Maine Democratic Party called the referendum a tremendous victory. "The people of Maine have once again sent a clear message of support for affordable, accessible health care," MPD Chair Phil Bartlett said in a statement. Maine joins 31 states, plus the District of Columbia, in passing Medicaid expansions. Efforts are also underway in Idaho and Utah to put similar measures on 2018 ballots. "The people of Maine have spoken loudly and clearly in support of more affordable health care, not less." MaPolitics picked out Twitter.com iTruth2WLO. Maine Democrats at Maine Dems November 8, 2017 suggest a correction.